Rome comes in from the north. Let's take a look at what it says there. There shall arise in his place one who imposes taxes on the glorious kingdom. So in place of Antiochus the Great, now Rome's in charge because Antiochus attacked Rome and lost. And this power will impose taxes on the glorious kingdom, that's Israel. But within a few days he shall be destroyed, but not in anger and battle. Well, in Luke 2:1 we have some confirmation of this. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. Rome was the new taxing power. That's why Jesus was born in Bethlehem. And so we have that going on. And in his place shall arise a vile person to whom they will not give the honor of royalty, but he shall come in peaceably and seize the kingdom by intrigue. So Augustus Caesar comes in. He dies. He doesn't die in war or anger. And Tiberius comes in through intrigue, trickery, and he's a very vile person. And Jesus dies during his time period. It could also be, other scholars say, well, the first part is not Augustus, it's Republican Rome, but in Augustus' time, it's transferring from Republican to Imperial Rome and is fully there by the time of Tiberius. Doesn't matter. It's the same thing either way. One's Augustus Tiberius, the other's Imperial and Republican, followed by Imperial Rome. Verse 22, and with the force of a flood, they shall be swept away from before him and be broken, and also the prince of the covenant. And during the trial of Jesus at the Sanhedrin, the rulers of Israel who said they had never surrendered to Rome, technically that was true. They had a peace agreement that allowed Rome to come in and take over without being totally surrendered. But all of a sudden they say, we have no king but Caesar. They've just totally given in now. And Jesus, the Prince of the Covenant, dies for their sins, my sins, and your sins. Jesus dies in verse 22. There are 45 verses in Daniel 11. Jerusalem gets caught in the middle. God's people get caught in the middle. But Jesus himself dies in the middle of this prophecy. Now, those verses weren't there when Daniel wrote them. But when studied by scholars, it's revealed that this is what is called a chiasm. And the focal point of the whole prophecy from Daniel 11:2 to 12:3 is centered on verse 22, Jesus, the Prince of the Covenant, dying for his people. So God's people get caught in the middle. Jerusalem gets caught in the middle, but Jesus knows what that's like. He dies in the middle for his people that are caught in the middle. He's with his people caught in the middle. At the end of it, he rescues his people that are caught in the middle. Jesus knows what it's like to be in our place.